All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations and upcoming Managing Director for BNI Arizona. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. I come here every single Wednesday at 3 o'clock to provide you guys with some education nuggets. And lately I've been bringing in some amazing guest presenters, and I have another presenter for you today, guys, so buckle up. But before we get started, I actually want to remind you guys that we have our chapter success orientations going on. We had our very first one on Monday, and we had over 120 leaders, members in attendance. It was incredible. So make sure to sign up if you're on a leadership or support team, and really any member is welcome. We have our last two trainings scheduled for next Monday and next Friday. So the 20th and 24th. On last Saturday, I sent the Zoom link, and that Zoom link is good for all three trainings. So depending on which one you want to go to, I also included the registration link. So the registration links are first in that email, and then if you scroll down, you'll find that Zoom link. So I sent it to all members on Saturday, and I also included the leadership team manuals as well as our upcoming event schedule. So really exciting stuff coming up for you guys, and looking forward to this next year. So today we have Miss Deanna Cole with us for Wisdom Wednesday. She is with SAS Printing, and she is in the BNI Hall of Fame chapter, as well as one of our amazing BNI directors. And Deanna, what are you going to share with us today?
Well, last week, Phil talked about how to treat our visitors when they get to the meeting. So I thought it would be really important to kind of talk about leading up to that point, because you have to have the visitors in order to treat them right.
That's true.
So, yeah, so I figured we should probably, we could probably do a whole nother Wisdom Wednesday on how to invite.
Yes.
I don't want to go there because there's a lot to talk about there. So I wanted to start with just invite them, tell them what a great group of people that you want to share with them, like-minded individuals, all that good stuff. Get them to say yes, they want to come to the meeting. If they don't say yes, that's okay. It's okay. You know what? Eventually they're going to say yes. So just keep asking. Don't make that decision for them. Don't say, oh, I've already asked them like 2 or 3 times. They're not interested. Keep asking. I know people who have invited 10, 11, 12 times. Those people finally make it to the meeting. And a lot of them finally, they join because of the fact that they've been hearing so much about it. And then they finally show up and go, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this sooner. Yeah. So don't ever decide for somebody whether or not you should invite them or whether or not they want to come. Just invite them.
Yeah.
The worst that could happen is you have an extra person in the room and they say, yeah, it really doesn't fit my business model. Okay, fine. At least they had exposure to all the other wonderful people in the room that they can actually give business to. Right. So there's always pros to that. The next thing you want to do is make sure to send them an invite. Once you talk to them and they're like, yeah, that sounds really good. Send them the invite. And we have 2 different ways now to do that. So don't just say, oh, I'll send you an invite and just send it. However, ask them, would an email invite or a text message invite be better? Because a lot of people, you have to learn how to connect with people on the level that they work on. If you send an email to a lot of the millennials today, they may not respond.
True. That is so true.
They are a text, phone, app person, people. So you want to check with them. Would I, send an email or should I send a text? Which is going to be better for you? That way, there's more commitment from them. Then once you've sent that, you can say, make sure you go in and register so that we know you're coming. We can be looking out for you, make sure we have plenty of seating for everybody. I always try and make it sound like, seats are limited. So make sure you register to get in. And then or if it's somebody that you are comfortable with, just say, I'm going to go ahead and send you the invite and I'll get you registered. So you could do it either way. It kind of depends on how comfortable you are with that person and how confident you are they're going to show up. So that's just to get started. Once you get the registration, it's, I think, really key that the president reach out to that visitor.
Ooh, yeah.
send again, don't always assume an email is going to be the best way to do it. So,
Right.
so talk to whoever the person that registered them is, if you're a president, and say, how did you send the invitation? That would be good. Or just on your own, you could either, maybe send an email and a text message, or just call them. Just call them and say, hey, I just saw that you registered. We're so excited to have you at the meeting this week. If you have any questions, just reach out. I'm more than happy to help. Make them feel like they are so excited, to be there. They're going to be really welcomed. Once you do all of that, the important thing is to follow up. Don't just invite them, send them the email, send them or get them registered, and then be like, okay, see you next Thursday.
I get it. They always say the fortune's in the follow-up.
It is. You really do have to follow up. So it depends on how far out you're inviting, obviously, but I think the week before is really a good indicator. So like the week before, if you're emailing to invite them a week out or beyond, perfect. And then maybe 3 days in from there, just kind of reach out again, say something like, hey, looking forward to having you at the meeting next week. Have you ever been to a BNI meeting before? If you don't know already, just see what they say, and then maybe send them another email, text, whatever, a couple days later saying, just so you know, this is the way the meeting runs. You're going to have this much time to speak at this time. So this is the format you probably want to put things in so that you can be precise and to the point, and you'll know what you're saying ahead of time. That way they have the opportunity to make themselves feel so much more comfortable. The first time I was at a BNI, it was a core group. It wasn't even a BNI meeting. It was a core group. My friend did not tell me that I was going to have to talk. They come around and they say, so Deanna, tell us a little bit about your business. I'm like, okay, well.
I think a lot of us have been there. A lot of us.
Let's not do that to our guests. Let's give them the tools to be prepared. Now, whether they follow it or not is another thing. Some people will read it and just kind of read over and be like, yeah, whatever, I got it. Other people may not even read the email. So that's kind of on them. You give them the tools, whether they use it or not is up to them, but at least you're giving them the opportunity to be successful in this new meeting setting that they're going into. And then right before the meeting, the day before, at some point, just reach out and say, so excited about the meeting tomorrow. I can't wait to see you. I'll be there at this time. I'll be looking for you. If you have any questions or if you have any problems getting there or finding us or whatever, let me know. Text me. Make sure they have your number. Now, of course, there are meetings that are online and in person. Mm-hmm. And there are some online only chapters. And there are some chapters that have to go online for whatever reason, from time to time.
Yeah.
So that kind of changes things a little bit. And I would always, when we were strictly on Zoom, before every meeting the day before, I would send out to everybody the email that said, hey guys, don't forget our meeting is tomorrow. Here's the link. I even did it for our chapter, and Kristen was in the chapter when I did that. I sent it out every night because who saves that all the time? Like it's all I can do sometimes to make it from Wednesday night to Thursday morning.
True. Yeah.
Right. So to have that email sent at the end of the day on Wednesday, before you're going to be on a Zoom the next morning, and it's early morning, it made it so easy to just send it. That way, your email is right there. You won't even open it until the morning of that. Right. That way you have the link. If you're a visitor, however, you're going to open it ahead of time. So it gives you the link. And that letter was completely different because that said things like, in case you've never been to a BNI meeting before, this is what and it gives them the tools in case you didn't do it yourself beforehand. This says you're going to get this many seconds, give your presentation.
Yeah.
This is what you want to include: your name, your company, a good reason to refer you, and what you do, be specific, and stuff like that. So it just gives them more feelings that they're wanted, you want them to be there. You're excited for them to show up. And a lot of times people feel very obligated when you do that. I mean, that's the best word to use, obligated. If you're saying, I can't wait to see you on Thursday at the meeting. It's going to be so much fun. They kind of feel like they got to show up because you're counting on them. Now, that's not always going to work, but it does a lot of times.
Most of the time. Well, and I remember that you would always send out the golden ticket too with the link, which is so helpful.
Yes. And especially with the visitors, it's great for them to open it up ahead of time and look at it and be like, ooh, I could really use that service, or I could use that, I could work well with that service. That way they knew ahead of time, like what was going on and who they might want to try and connect with during the meeting, after the meeting, whatever, when it's online. So definitely online is a little bit different, but it's still so doable to reach out and be very engaged with them on a regular basis before the meeting to get them there.
Yes.
So, I think that's everything I had.
Well, awesome. Well, it definitely sounds like we definitely want to focus on communication. Communication is so key for our amazing visitors. Make sure we get them registered, make sure they get the information first for the invites, then with the registration, then following up with that, making sure they have all the details, make sure they're prepared, set them up for success, guys. Set those visitors up for success, because I was in the situation as well when I first visited BNI. I didn't know I was going to talk in front of people either, and I was definitely afraid of public speaking. So you know what? I may not have shown up if I would have known that I had to talk in front of the group of people. So maybe it was a blessing that they didn't tell me.
People might look at it that way, but I think too, if you are one of those people that are afraid to, at least if you have the format ahead of time, you have the time to prepare, so it makes things less scary.
Yes, 100%.
Right. And the only other thing that I wanted to mention that I make sure I do every week for our visitors is I make their name tags ahead of time.
Ooh,
I print them up on stickers. I have BNI Hall of Fame on it. I put their name. I even put the color dot. I put a square, a little color square of whatever category they fit into, power team wise. That way, when they go in, they might see other visitors that have that, or as members, we know what color our power team is. So we can look for the visitors that have our color as well. So if we're wondering, who should I talk to? Oh, there's a visitor that has my red color on it. So I'm going to go talk to them and see what they do. So awesome. I like to have the name tags, and that way when they walk up, they've got their name already out there and they're like, oh, wow, they really were prepared for me. They really do want me to
Right. And that goes back to definitely making sure we get everyone registered. So that way the leadership team is prepared, the visitor hosts are prepared to have a successful meeting. And with all of the TMR stuff, we want to make sure that everybody is registered prior to the meetings. So awesome job, Deanna. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your words of wisdom, especially being an amazing visitor host for Hall of Fame. You do such an amazing job with that communication every single week. So I appreciate your time today, and thank you everybody for tuning in to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. Make sure to record one chapter education unit for watching today, and we look forward to seeing you at the upcoming chapter success orientations. Thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing day.